Hi, babies. Um, Welcome back. I skipped last week because I was deep in family stuff, and that is like the topic I want to loop back to today because it's Father's Day, and I'm just noticing, as your friendly neighborhood observationalist, that when it was Mother's Day a month ago, um, I had to share my day with a lot of grief. Both on my professional corner of the Instagram and in my personal corner of the Instagram, it's like a lot of infographics about why Mother's Day is hard for people, all the different ways that we could be grieving on Mother's Day. And I have respect, like true respect for grief and parenting and family and mothering, and I like respect people's experience and their wounds. But what I am definitely noticing on Father's Day is that neither on my personal corner of Instagram or in my professional corner of Instagram have I seen a single fucking infographic about grief and Father's Day and how we need to be careful to like not say happy Father's Day to people because other people are sad. And I just think it fucking says a lot. Like, what the fuck? Because number one, okay, well, number one, if anyone can teach me anything about recording in glasses and not having reflection, that would be amazing. I would love you forever. Please teach me the ways. Um, Okay, number two, don't forget to join my cult. You know, information below. Money Coven, always. Like and subscribe, please, please, please. And like someone says, smash that love button. Always want that. And also I'm doing a whole free summer program. So if you want more, like you want to work with me for free, I'm doing a whole free summer program. So get in it. I'm doing a book club. I'm sending these, it's called Sexy Self Care Summer. So subscribe to all that. Notes below. Okay. But at Mother's Day, I always make a point and I always make a post. And a lot of mothering people find it really relevant about mother as a class of laborer. So let's think about this, right? Mother as a class of laborer, I'm gonna say like outside of gender. I'm not like a Marxist gender college person, so I don't totally know how to fully break it down. But it's like it is a gendered labor role, right? Mother. And in my personal experience of that, the bar is in heaven. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the bar is so high and the ways to fall short are so many and so varied. And the amount of labor that it takes and the amount of free labor, labor that is like paid in being treated like shit and like marginalized and like, criticized and etc. It's like it's unreal. If you haven't experienced it, you couldn't believe it. Really. You know, every I spent so much time feeling so guilty about my parenting. I have had my parenting be a major issue of contention in every single romantic relationship I've been in since I had a kid, which is maybe six. I've had people break up with me because I have a kid. I've had people exploit like criticizing my parenting as a way to get access to insulting and abusing me like post breakup. um, it creates a vulnerability that is really um, gives people a lot of access to you. So, anyway, I want to say, like, the bar must be in fucking hell for fathers, which I hear about, but I don't think about it that much because I just don't think about it that much, you know? I'm divorced 50-50. My kid's other parent is a trans man. I don't really think so much about the common paradigm of fatherhood as a labor class, you know? Um, but I did just spend a lot of time with some fathers in my family, including my own father and two of my brothers, who are both fathers. And, I don't know what to say except like I appreciate their labor, except my father. He's done very little labor as a father. But my brothers do a lot of labor as fathers. I can see what the labor of fathers is. I'm just really curious as a cultural phenomenon why the job evaluation process is not as stringent in effect, like in a way that like I'm noticing that the job evaluation, the like collective job evaluation of like mothers and whether or not they're doing a bad or good job is like a cultural phenomenon. It's become a cultural phenomenon. So just not interested. Yeah, not interested in getting a um yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to talk about it without like disrespecting people's pain of like experiencing bad mothering. But what the fuck, y'all? Like really. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Mother's Day and Father's Day, labor, etc. Ugh, kind of related. I know we were talking last week about like, or 2 weeks ago, daddy issues and the way that it impacts money. Definitely noticing like daddy issues and the way that sometimes people, feminized people, femme people, give up financial power, like in relationship with daddy issues. I know for me, I've noticed like to some extent, I've noticed a resistance to taking care of myself sometimes because I think on some level I'm like waiting for parenting, waiting for fathering. Some like inner child piece of me is waiting for that. And I'm like, resistant to giving it to myself. Um, yeah, I think daddy issues like impacts people's money so majorly. So yeah, fuck a bunch of that. Anyway, okay. I also saw, if we want to follow up from a couple weeks ago, when I talked about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, that Dwayne Wade has come out and basically spoken on what got him and Gabrielle Union going 50-50 on expenses, even though he makes much more money to begin with, and that it was reactionary. It was Gabrielle Union basically making a protective, reactionary move from him saying one time when they were in a house, I'm sure they were already married, saying like, "Oh, my house, like this is not gonna happen in my house," or like, "This is my house," something. And she was like, "Oh, the fuck, it is your house. Like, I'm not gonna live in a house where someone's able to say like, this is my house ever again." And I really understand that. Like, I stopped taking money. Me and my kid's dad got divorced when he was like about 2 and 3/4. And I stopped take like he had gotten a college degree and whatever while I was pregnant, blah blah blah. He got a job and he was like giving me, when we first broke up, he was giving me half his paycheck essentially. And it wasn't really sustainable for either of us, but um it was what it was while we were like figuring out how to do everything. And I stopped taking money from him at all, like at all, within maybe 9 months to a year after we were divorced. because money is so slippery. And here's the thing again, like parenting and labor, there's so much unpaid labor when we get into like division of labor and parenting. And it's just like, um, there was this assumption that because I was getting some kind of child support, that that was paying for some kind of labor that was undefined, right? The labor of motherhood is undefined and therefore like able to be interpreted and exploited like in so many ways. And so I was like, I can't essentially like the way that it was being framed is like I'm receiving pay for a job, but the job description is just like being a mother, right? Or like being someone who's receiving money. Um, it was too slippery, it was too easily to exploit, and I was just like, fuck this. Never mind. Never mind. I don't want any money ever again. So that's that. But definitely relate. And, although in general, definitely a fan of money moves that are more intentional and less reactionary. I do understand sometimes having like a reactionary boundary around money and like needing to like set it there. Um, if you're in a relationship where there's a lot of trust, like maybe you guys can work through it, right? Maybe you can say, like, this is where the boundary needs to be, and we're gonna work through it because I believe it's important to me that, like, you should get money um, for the labor that you're doing, or I wanna pay for more of household expenses or whatever. Like, I do think that with trust, you all can work through those kind of conversations. However, when it's been shown that the trust like really shouldn't be there, I do understand like a very strong financial boundary. No. Okay. Self care practice for the week. What's your money magic practice for the week? Let's feel into it. Well, if you're not getting my sexy self care summer emails, you definitely should be. Every Friday, you're getting like a little 5 point checklist of like sexy self care, romanticize your financial self care, checklist for the week, really like easy breezy, abundant, um, feeling ourselves, all that. So definitely get that, sign up for that. That could be part of your money magic practice for the week. And then I want to just say, given the conversation that we're having today, like, notice the labor that you do this week. Just like notice and like give yourself some fucking shine. And notice where are the ways that you're like internalizing societal messages about how you don't do enough. And just like give that a little love, give it a little like salve, a little balm. Abundance says there is enough, you are enough. So you are. Your labor is enough. Okay? All right. I'll see you next week.